Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're in the heart of East London. That's right, and we're going to be looking at an extension that's being built. It's not the most flamboyant, biggest structure ever, but at the same time there's loads of learning to do on this one. I'm with one of my friends who's actually got this company, Torba. So if you like anything in this project, be sure to reach out to them because they're going to be down in the description. I love this company purely because, you know, we've worked together in the past on some of my projects, and the way, you know, some of the guys here get some jobs is all through recommendation. They've even got branded vans, so you just know, like, you're just going to be dealing with quality. Anyone who invests in themselves, they're hoarding, they're branding, that's someone which should give you, you know, alarm bells that these guys know what they're doing. So come on through. You can already see that we've saved on permit costs right now because this property here has actually got a drive, so we don't need to put it on the street. So when you're costing up all of your jobs, always make sure that, you know, you're costing up the rubbish, because that's something you don't normally see. You just think there's a big structure, how much is the bricks, cement, roofing? What about the rubbish, guys? Because every skip will cost you between 350, you know, to 400 pounds. In some areas, it might be a little bit cheaper, but on top of that, you have to pay for permits as well, and they do all add up. But we've got our one full up right here, so we've got no more issues here. So follow me. So when we talk about open plan, this is open plan, baby. The people who are living in this house are actually still here, and that's a massive savings on hotels and, you know, relocating costs. It means they can still live here while there's going to be works being done in the property. This property was already extended around about 3 meters, I'd say. So the way I normally cost these meters up is 1, 2, 3. Some of you might have a smaller step, bigger step, but when you're costing things up on a building site, that's how I quickly do it. These have got 2 VELUX windows that are going to be being put in, and that's purely because when you have a massive extension like this, you want a lot of lighting in the room. We've also got a RSJ, that's a real reinforced steel joint. It's currently red, and you know what that means? It's, you know, fire resistant, and at the same time normally you would have pedstone, but on this one we've actually got spread plates, and they basically do the same thing. But this is why you always refer back to your engineer reports and your architects, because they specify exactly what they need. Because this is such a large roof, you're not going to get big long beams going all the way across. You're going to need a joint in the middle, and the quirky thing in this project is actually it's got a warm deck roof. What does that mean? Well, normally you have your beams going across, you've got a vapor membrane going across, you've got insulation underneath, and then the plasterboard. This one isn't actually going to have that. As you can see, the insulation and vapor barrier is on top of the roof, so underneath there's going to be no insulation that you need, and this actually stops condensation, and it's purely because we've got more space to make this roof above. So that's something quirky, even something that I've learned new on this project. We've currently got an open plan boiler, guys, but this is all going to go out the window because we're adding all of this space into this room. There's going to be a big long kitchen running along here, which is retaining this side, a big island, which we will come back to this site to show you the finished results. But because this is all happening and there's going to be underfloor heating here, we are actually going to be putting a mega flow system. So that's a bigger boiler system where it's a lot more water can be retained, so we can make sure this house is never without hot water. Another plan that we've got on this project, guys, so we're also doing the garden right now, but before I get there, I just want to show you the roof we're doing. It's not a fiberglass, it's not felt, it's actually called flexi. These cost around £400 per 10 square meters. So if we need 40 square meters, then you can do the numbers yourself, you know. But what that means is it doesn't end up cracking after 5 or 10 years. So the longevity in using this type of material is going to be, you know, awesome and cost saving in the long term. Here, we're going to be doing the garden up also. We're going to be putting some flowers down. All the fence is going to be done. And if you just come and follow me around here, you can see the actual size of this extension. It's becoming more and more expensive to buy houses, guys, with all the stamp duties going from 3% to 5%, building materials, cost of labor, you know, all of these costs that are coming into effect right now, is becoming harder and harder to buy another property. So this is why people are currently doing extensions, because it's just the next cheaper option. Every single builder you deal with, make sure you get everything specified. On this project, actually, normally the foundations go 1 meter deep, but this one actually went 1.6 meters deep. Now that isn't the builder's fault and it isn't the homeowner's fault. It's just the area that this is built on. There's a lot more sand around here, and you actually need to hit like hard clay before you can start putting your foundations to stop any subsidence in the future. So to protect the builder and yourself, always put these clauses in what meterage that the builder is supposed to go down, and if it doesn't pass building control, then what does it look like the more deeper you go? This will save you a lot of time, headache, money. It will stop you hating the builder and the builder hating you, because a good relationship between the builder and the client that you're doing the property for is really, really essential. So I hope you really enjoyed this. This is actually made out of concrete blocks, which means we're going to be rendering all of this to make it look, you know, nice and formal. Sometimes you can have bricks, but sometimes bricks cost more money, and it's also to do with the drawings that have been approved. Sometimes the councils want you to have a certain brick, so it goes in with the normal, you know, general look of the street, the building, the environment, how it's supposed to look. But on this one, we're going to get away with rendering it in a nice finish, nice flat roof. To finish off things nicely on this project, we're actually going to have parapet walls, which means they are slightly exaggerated, with zinc sort of coping stones around the edges. Now that zinc is actually anthracite grey, which will go with the frames around the windows, so it all matches and it looks a little bit designer. I hope you really, really enjoyed this episode, guys. Don't forget to follow the guys at Tourbar. They're actually big influences on Instagram themselves. We'll put their handle down. Give them a follow. Give them some jobs as well. You know, they're very reputable builders. And at the same time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if this brought you real value. We're going to be coming back on this project to show you what the finished article looks like, the retaining kitchen, the island, the underfloor heating. So you're going to be able to see all of the changes, and also out here in the garden where we can show you what it's going to be looking like and some of their landscape jobs. But until next time, I'll see you on the channel. Peace.